What's up, people? It's Dr. William James here, reporting to you. Today I wanted to talk to you all about the unintelligent and immature argument. The unintelligent and immature argument, or shall I say, unintelligent and immature response. However you want to look at it. Okay? Unintelligent, immature argument. So, there are many topics that are often discussed, and you might find yourself in a disagreement with someone about a specific topic. It could be politics, it could be religion, it can be any social issue, abortion, Fourth Amendment, Second Amendment, anything like that, any topic. You can, find yourself having a discussion with someone and you realize you disagree. And there is an intellectual way, a scholarly way to debate or argue your point of view. And then there's the unintelligent and immature way. Okay? So, many people have brought these up. If you debate, if you're familiar with debating, if you were on a debate team, or even if you just know, if you're a scholar, if you've done a certain amount of education, or maybe you're autodidactic and you've come to this understanding on your own, okay? There are certain things that you cannot do in a formal debate, okay? You can't do insults, okay? You can't do red herrings, pejoratives, you can't do ad hominems. And those are the things that unintelligent and immature people do when they don't have facts and examples supporting their stance, okay? So they change the subject, that's a red herring, changing the subject. They go to, things that have nothing to do with the subject. They, go to different topics. And this is done purposely to distract you and try to take you away from the main topic, They don't want you to continue strengthening your argument on that specific topic, so they switch subjects. Or they go to the ad hominems, they go to the insults, I'm not arguing with someone who, look at your shoes. I don't argue with people who shop at Payless. They start saying things like that, you know what I'm saying? That's the immature part. One part is the unintelligent argument with the red herrings. Then the insults, the ad hominems, that's just immaturity. If that has nothing to do with our discussion, then it shouldn't be brought up. You know what I'm saying? I just wouldn't do that. Or letting your ego get in the way. I wouldn't let my ego get in the way of an argument. Like, I would never say to someone, since I'm Dr. James and I have a terminal degree, I would never say to someone, I don't argue with people who have less than a terminal degree. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say that. That has nothing to do with the argument, and that's also stupid. That's unintelligent at that point, because there are intelligent people who don't have doctoral degrees, all right? And there are stupid people who do have doctoral degrees, okay? So that could be thrown back in your face. I realize that could be thrown in my face, which is why I wouldn't say that. That's just not intelligent, okay? You have to notice when people are doing these things. The unintelligent, I don't want you to miss it, okay? The unintelligent and immature arguments. The red herrings, the ad hominems, pejoratives, those are the key things. Red herrings, ad hominems, pejoratives, okay? Or, people just play stupid. They completely ignore your points, ignore your facts, and they won't answer questions. That's another key thing that they do. They don't answer questions. So you'll ask them, they'll ask you a question. So why do you believe, people should have the right to bear arms? Or, why do you support the Second Amendment? And you'll answer their question, and then you ask them a good question back, and they're like, they're not answering it. Okay? Then they like to make believe that they answered it, and they say things like, "Oh, you just didn't like my, you just didn't like my response." No, you did not answer the question with your response. Okay? Then you could ask them an even more specific question, and they will ignore it. Okay? So when you come across people like this, and you find yourself in arguments with people like this, that's just when it's no longer a discussion. You know what I'm saying? Because in a formal debate, you lose if you name call, you change the topic, you don't answer questions, you lose. Okay? So it's just not scholarly, that's not scholastic, that's not intelligent to argue in that manner. Okay? And that's why we can't get anywhere as a people, because people are always doing this when discussions come up. People involve their feelings over the facts of the situation. Okay? I feel this, or that would make people feel this. No, but what do the facts state? Okay? And because they can't deal with the facts of the situation, they result to name calling, or the insults. You know what I'm saying? Stupid stuff, immature stuff that makes no sense. Has nothing to do with the argument. They'll say something like, "Oh, I'm not going to argue with someone whose car is less than $5,000. Like, that's materialistic and stupid, and it has nothing to do with the argument. Because someone who's walking, using their feet or riding a bicycle can make a sound argument on the topic. Now, if we're discussing cars, or we're discussing luxury cars, that has something to do with the topic. That probably can make sense. That can make sense. But if it has nothing to do with the topic, why are you bringing up what type of car I drive or anything like that? You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense. That's the immaturity in the person. That's their way to deflect. That's their way to escape the argument, to escape the debate, the discussion. That's their way out. They insult you, and it changes the subject to, insults. That's that person tapping out. That's their way of giving up. Okay? So you have to notice this stuff and make sure you're not the person doing it. Okay? So I wanted to put this on the radar so that I can say that I've addressed this before. That's not the way to debate. And that's not the way to get anywhere as a people. We can't move the needle when people always change the subject and they don't debate in a scholarly fashion. Okay? If you're right, if you're really confident in your argument, if you have evidence, you have examples, facts, details to prove what you're saying, why the insults? Why the ad hominems? Why the red herrings? Why are you changing the subject? Why are you deflecting? Okay? At the end of the day, if what we're arguing is subjective and neither one of us have any facts to support it, then why even debate? Why even have this discussion? All right? You're not going to convince me without any facts. You're just not going to. You can't change someone's opinion with opinions. All right? You need facts, you need examples, you need details. Okay? Stop saying things to people that can be thrown back at you, because it's just not intelligent. They say things like, "Oh, you just feel you got to be right. You're always right." All right? It's like insults or guilting, trying to shame the person. That has nothing to do with the argument. We wouldn't be arguing if we both didn't feel we were right. There's no argument. Both people in the argument feel they're right. You're not going to argue something you feel you're wrong about. So that's the stupidity. That's the unintelligent argument. Oh, you think you're right. You think you're right about everything. Well, everything I argue, I think I'm right about, or I wouldn't be arguing it. That's just common sense. So I don't know how people say certain things out of their mouth without realizing how hypocritical it is and how stupid it is. We both think we're right because we're arguing. We're engaged in a debate. Okay, unless it was a formal debate where we were forced to choose certain sides, even and we're playing devil's advocate, that's a different discussion. But if we're just having common discussion and we both passionate about something and we feel we're right about it, we feel we're right about it. We're both discussing it because we feel we're right about it. Okay? So I just wanted to put this on the radar. Like, comment, subscribe, share the video, let me know what y'all think. Avoid people who are unintelligent and immature. Not worth having a discussion with. Dr. James, peace and love.